It's Manchu. Welcome to Divergence SMP. Last time I went on an expedition to collect music discs, and I managed to get 18 out of the 20. I want to finish that mission today. I'm determined to get it done. I have been informed that somebody left something in my mail. Look at that, some dried gas. Looks like ingredients with which to make a harness for the dried gas, as well as, I don't know. I don't know what the significance of that is, but deep slate redstone ore. Okay. I may play around a little bit with the gas, but my first priority right now is those last two music discs I don't have yet. One of the two is called Relic, and it's found in Trail Ruins. I'm really not sure of a good way to find a trail ruin other than to just look it up on Chunkbase. I kind of wish there was a system in the game for like buying a map from a cartographer or something like that, because it just feels like cheating to look it up on Chunkbase, but I just don't know a better way to do it. Trail ruins appear in certain biomes, I think like old growth taiga and birch forest, something like that. But they're not easy to see. It's not like they stick out like a sore thumb. You really have to carefully explore along the ground in the hopes that you'll find it. Like I say, I don't know a realistic way to find it other than to look it up on Chunkbase. And that's what I did. I have a bunch of stuff here for exploring the trail ruins. Might as well suit up. I wonder if I should put on some elytra. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. I think flying is the only sensible way to get there. Gotta be right in this area. At least according to Chunkbase. I don't see anything. Oh, there it is. How would I have found this without Chunkbase? It would be impossible. Literally impossible. But that terracotta is unmistakable. This is the site. Also, what the heck is going on over here? Dripstone? Pointed dripstone? On the beach? That is some weird terrain generation. Alright. First step, I'm gonna need to clear the perimeter of all the trees. Set up a fence area, and then I can start the excavation. This is gonna be a long process. I do enjoy doing it though. I'm using a moss mining technique to excavate the trail ruin. Natural stone variants, dirt, and grass convert to moss when you use bone meal on a nearby moss block. The moss can be easily mined with a hoe. Terracotta, stone brick, mud brick, packed mud, cobblestone, and gravel are not converted to moss. All the blocks that the trail ruin is made of. So this moss mining method converts everything not part of the structure to moss to be instantly mined away without any danger of accidentally breaking any part of the structure. This is by no means a fast way to dig out the structure. It's a meticulous process exposing the ruins by stripping away the dirt and stone layer by layer. But I get a strange zen feeling of satisfaction doing this that's hard to describe. Oh my god, I think I found it. There it is, Relic, and I haven't got that far into it. There's a lot more to this trail ruin to explore, and I'm going to continue. But I found the thing I was looking for. I found the music disc. The ruin has a number of structures, but there's always a tall central tower. Often the top of the tower is the only thing poking out of the ground. In the case of this ruin, not even that was exposed, and it was only thanks to using the online tool Chunkbase that there was any chance I would have found it. There will be a road that passes through the middle of the trail ruin, made of stone brick and cobblestone. Once I reach this road, I know I've found the bottom of the ruin, and have a good idea of which direction the rest of the ruin lies. Most of the things you can dig out of the suspicious gravel in the trail ruin would be considered useless junk to most players, but I like to think of it as helping to tell a story about what the ruin was. Little bits of dye indicate that the builders of the ruin used dyes to color terracotta, which they would bake into glazed terracotta used in the structures. Bits of colored glass show that the dyes may have been used for stained glass windows. Wooden hoes and occasional bits of wheat show that the land around the ruin was once cultivated. An archaeologist would tell you that the seeds you find in the ruins may not indicate anything. These could have been left behind by rodents long after the place was abandoned by people. I am no archaeologist. I know that the proper thing to do would be to mark the location where I find everything, because where you find an artifact and what other things you find near it can give a lot of important context. But I neglected to do this on this dig. I can say that the materials the ruins were built with and the objects found inside show that the original inhabitants had access to a large amount of mud, clay, sand, and terracotta. Considering the pointed dripstone formation nearby, and knowing how things work in Minecraft, all of these things may be connected. They could turn dirt into mud by adding water. Mud combined with wheat they cultivated could be made into packed mud and mud bricks. Or they could use pointed dripstone to extract moisture from the mud and produce clay. They could smelt clay balls to make bricks for pottery, indicated by the powdery sherds we found there. The clay could also be smelted to make terracotta, which combined with dyes and rebaked would make glazed terracotta. All of the blocks the ruins are constructed with could be made from materials readily available nearby. While I have speculated that the people who lived here could be ancestors of the wandering traders, there's no evidence that the inhabitants of this trail ruin did any trading with places far away. There are no materials or artifacts that could not be locally sourced. This is the kind of nonsense I like to think about while exploring one of these ruined structures. Something I love about Minecraft is that there is no canon lore decreed by the devs. You're free to make up your own lore. Invent the history of your world yourself. It's a game that you can use your imagination to make your own stories. And it is done. It's taken a number of hours over several days to do this, but I have completed the excavation of the trail ruins. Now, as far as what I found in the suspicious gravel, that's all in this chest here. So there's 7 different types of pottery sherds, 4 different armor trims, and I don't know how many different armor trims I could have found. And the thing I was really looking for, this music disc. And a bunch of other things, emeralds, candles, hanging signs, dyes. For some reason, I had a large amount of light blue dye, I don't know why that is, and a variety of other dyes. But while a lot of this stuff might be considered junk, I like to think of all of the stuff, all of the things that I get from the suspicious gravel as data, not loot, information. They're like pieces of a huge jigsaw puzzle, where you only have a few of the pieces and have to figure out what the big picture is without getting all of the pieces together. Anyway, in addition to that, I got a lot of building materials. I had some full shulker boxes here of stone and dirt. A bunch of assorted items. And many moss. Lots and lots of moss. Not a significant amount, like a whole lot of copper in this excavation. But anyway, I have a huge chest monster of stuff, and I'm gonna have to gather all this up and bring it back to my base. Then, I just have 1 music disc left. 1 music disc that I have to try to get. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but as long as it takes, I'm gonna keep at it until I get it. So I can say I have the full collection of music discs. Only missing 1 music disc. It's one of the 3 that you can find in trial chambers. Specifically, Creator Music Box, which you find inside of decorative pots in the trial chambers. Now, I have searched 5 trial chambers and collected 152 decorative pots and haven't found it yet. So I'm going to return to this cartographer who accidentally got zombified at some point. It wasn't on purpose. Buy another Trial Explorer map. Does not look familiar, so it's a new one. Okay. Yes, found it. Hit me up again. Oh wow, it's right under this village. Ladies and gentlemen, I got it. Let me do an accounting of how many decorative pots that was. This is how many pots I had to break to find this music disc. 195 pots. 1.4% chance that they would contain the music disc. And I had to break 195 of them. I had to go to 7 trial chambers to find enough pots to find the music disc. The RNG gods hate me. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's it. All 20 music discs at last collected. I had to raid 7 trial chambers, but I got it. I finally got it. Now I have for my nightclub all the different music discs. I am now done. Wait, what? Son of a